Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be having a look at installing the compact tail rack for the Tenere 700 from B&B Off-Road Engineering. It's just a great combination of good looks, functionality and awesome design. So obviously this style of tail rack leaves the seat free to be removed easily without having to unbolt anything. So easy access for your air filter and everything, so very handy. So this rack from B&B is kind of a bit modular, so you can sort of mix and match the bits that you want. Obviously that's the base plate. You can also have side rail grab handles, and you can also get separately a larger luggage plate which bolts onto the rack itself. And the good thing about that is, you know, obviously a lot of B&B stuff comes in either the black PPA coating or polished aluminium, so you can mix and match the look, which I've done here. Obviously I've got the black rack and the side handles in the polished. So I've got all the hardware that comes with it here. I might just quickly put it onto the scales for you guys so you can get an idea of what it all weighs. Alright, so the rack itself, 642 grams. This is the mounting bracket, 1 kilo and 94 grams. I think that this is the hardware for just the plate, 1332 grams. Add your grab handles and hardware for that. Looking at a total of just under 1.7 kilos. Okay guys, for this job what we're going to need is a 4mm and a 5mm Allen key. We've got both T-handles and ratchets there, 8mm socket, some thread lock, a box cutter or some kind of knife, and preferably a pair of tin snips. Okay, stage one is mounting the bracket to the bike. For that we need to remove the seat and the top part of the rear fender. Alright, so we're going to take the seat off. Easy peasy. If you've still got the two-piece seat, then you'll obviously need to unbolt that. You need a 4mm Allen key to remove these 5 bolts here. You're going to be careful not to lose the little washer spacer thing. Alright, so with an 8mm socket, I'm going to remove these 6 bolts underneath the rear fender here. 3 on each side. If you've still got your standard Yamaha tie down points, you'll need to remove those as well, guys. And then 3 bolts hold each of these side plastics on. Just remembering that the black one goes at the front of the bike. And pop these off. Same again on the other side. Normally you're on your bike, you'll have a couple of these push-in retainer plastic things over here. Mine seem to have disappeared. There's one on either side normally, so you just need to push the center of them in and pull them out. And then after that you should be able to slide the whole fender back and remove it from the bike. So according to the instructions here, we need to cut a small notch out of the plastic here on the bike. So we'll see how we go with a box cutter on this part. Alright, so you could use a file or something if you want to. I'm going to try and use some snips, which is what they recommend. So I might get a ruler and measure 7mm. There. That was fairly easy. Beautiful. Same on the other side. So yeah, as I said, we're just cutting along up to the end of the subframe tube there. Alright, so that fits nice. Alright guys, so once you've got your plastic notches cut out, we need to basically, firstly you want to grab the two Allen key head, the longer bolts, thinner ones, thread the nuts on, the nylock nuts on a little bit, like so. And so what we need to do is position both of these underneath this plate here, and you'll notice that there's one larger threaded hole and one smaller. We basically just use these bolts to hold these in position underneath there while we put the main bolts in. Okay, so I'll line it up and try and thread it in there. Okay, so as you can see, that will allow us to position that there once we've got the bracket on. So we'll do that again with the other side. Okay. So now we take our main mounting bolts and washers, and I'd always recommend putting a bit of thread lock on these. Put our bracket in position. Alright, so we grab our bolts, and with that we can position the nuts on the bottom at the right spot. Then with a 5mm Allen key, you can go ahead and tighten up these mounting bolts. And then we can go ahead and remove the temporary bolts. And that's the bracket installed. Alright guys, once you've got the bracket mounted to the bike, we can go ahead and reinstall the fairing and the seat. When you're reinstalling the cowling, make sure that this bracket goes over the rubber locating douver there. It needs to slide into place. Okay, so we'll put all the bolts and everything back in and move on to the next phase. Alright, so again, you've got the 5 bolts on the top, you've got the 6 bolts underneath to do. You've got the 2 plastic push-in pin things if yours are still there, and then you've got the 2 plastics side covers. Alright, so we've got 4 spaces to mount the actual rack. The longer spaces go there. The shorter spaces will go against the bracket that we've mounted underneath. So basically, you've got 2 different length bolts as well. Obviously, the longer ones go through the longer spaces. Okay, so we'll put this in position. So obviously, if you don't have the handles, we'll go with the longer bolt straight through. Always thread lock and a washer. $5mm Allen key. The other longer bolt with a washer. Do the two lower bolts with spacers now. It's all fixed into place just loosely. Put the 4 bolts with nuts through the rear of the pillion handles. Again, I just prefer to use a little bit of thread lock on there. I don't know if you need to or not, but so we've got nuts on the back of these. Very easy to get to. And as with everything you get from B&B, fit up is just perfect. There's no having to manhandle stuff into place. It all just lines up perfectly. Okay, that is everything assembled now. Obviously, if you've got the top luggage plate, you'll be bolting that down as well. I'm going to go ahead and tighten up all these bolts now. So there you have it, guys. The job took probably about 45 minutes. Nothing too hard there. All very straightforward. Easy to follow the instructions that are provided with the rack, but hopefully this video has given you a bit more of an idea of exactly what's involved. I'm super stoked with how this rack looks after installing it. I saw the photos of it on the website and I thought it looked really good. But in the flesh, it's even better. It's not obtrusively big on the bike. It actually, I think it adds good looks to the bike. You know, it looks better with it on there. As I said earlier, they really nail it with this rack. Good job, B&B. So if you got something out of this video, please give us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.